So we'll do it all the way through as a
Well, I'm here with Emma Bulbeck, my nutritionist, my cousin nutritionist. So we're talking really about the skin and how we nourish the skin from what we eat and obviously what we put on our skin. And as we know, the skin is the largest organ of the body. It's the largest excretory organ. And the skin shows up many different ailments, you know, psoriasis, eczema, hives, acne rosacea, just to name a few, fungus, you know, tinea pedis, that type of thing. So, you know, what is going on the outside, what's going on the inside. And as Emma said to me just now before when we were chatting, you know, almost what you think about what you're putting on your skin is almost, you're feeding it, it's stuff that you can eat. So we always treat with nature, and almost, yeah, things that you could eat. Nothing is a chemical. The skin is a living organism.
You wouldn't eat it, don't put it on your body.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yes,
told.
if you don't eat it, don't put it on your body.
And I think that when you make steps towards, you know, looking after your diet, then you do actually think, well, if I'm looking after myself so much, you know, with my diet, then actually what am I putting on my skin? What am I using in my household products?
Yeah.
You know, you become much more conscious of what you're using sort of externally as well.
Yeah.
And that's why Pavonia is so wonderful, being natural.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's still clinically effective.
Yeah.
But it is, you know, it's very natural as well.
Yeah. So one ingredient that we wanted to talk about this evening is Propolis. It's a wonderful ingredient. It's obviously a bee product. No cruelty comes from the bees when they do produce this, so just so you know that. It's a natural antibiotic. It's a great healer. It desensitizes sensitive skin. It helps to control breakouts. It's ideal for sensitive and problematic skin, and it's also ideal for eczema, psoriasis, anywhere a little bit of dermatitis, because it is so healing and because it is a natural antibiotic. It's an absolute wonderful. And then obviously eating honey products as well.
Yeah, natural antibacterial, which is really important.
Yeah.
But I love this product. It's so nice. I remember when I was suffering with my skin, and I used it, and it works quite quickly, doesn't it? Like to soothe and just in the way your skin feels. But then like the look of it as well, it's really moisturising as well, like reducing your redness. It's such a nice product, and I always think that when people you know, have acne, they're going to sort of, you know, their local shop, and they're getting really harsh stuff that actually strips
that makes
their
it more
skin.
sensitive.
It makes it more sensitive, and also you know, strips the oil on the skin. We have sebum on the skin, we need oil, it's protection. And the skin actually you know, is made up of fats, so the subcutaneous layer is literally fats, omega-3 and omega-6, and everyone always talks about water, about hydrating the skin, which it does, but you actually need to lock in that water, and that's done with the fats in the skin that stop the water from you know,
evaporating.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, even for skin plumping, it's not just problem skin, that's such a nice product to just
because
really
it's
hydrate
also
the skin.
It contains glycerin as well, which is a natural humectant. So again, that is drawing the moisture. And the lavender. So it's okay.
So
that's
lovely.
cool.
And the smell of it is so nice as well.
I know.
So
I love it, and it's got lavender in it as well.
So talking a bit about inflammation. So all the skin disorders that you just mentioned are all inflammatory. Like on the whole, most skin conditions are inflammatory. Anything with itis on the end is also inflammation. So just like going on to your main ones like psoriasis, eczema and acne are all types of inflammatory skin conditions. So looking at supporting the immune system, having lots of like leafy green vegetables, things like turmeric, powerful anti-inflammatory, ginger is really good as well. And also your omega-3s, so like we said, omega-3 fatty acids. So the sort of major source are oily fish, so salmon, mackerel, anchovy, sardines and herring. It's not going to be found in things like cod, you know, you need your nice oily fish.
Smash fish.
Yes, well remembered.
Smash fish, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, salmon and herrings.
you know, it's so funny because I can tell who's studied at C&M, because if I meet a nutritionist and they say smash fish, I just know they were taught at the same college. It's so funny. But yeah, I love that. But also for vegan sources, things like chia seeds, avocados, nuts and seeds. But I do find it difficult when working with clients if they are vegan. I totally appreciate that. But the omega-3 that we get from plant-based sources is very different. It's a certain type of omega-3. It doesn't contain the DHA and EPA that we need. And the conversion rate of turning the plant-based omega-3 into the omega-3 that we want for our skin is quite difficult, and it requires things like zinc, which we know are low in the vegan diet.
I only found that out when talking to you the other day. I wasn't aware of that.
It's really difficult if someone's like vegan for ethical reasons. You're just going to need a hell of a lot more, and you're going to be looking at increasing your zinc rich foods. You can get there, but it does take a little bit more. It
takes longer.
Effort in a way. So we've spoken about inflammation, also talking about gut health.
Yes.
So, gut health is really important for our immunity, so controlling and modulating the immune system in terms of inflammation, but also to make sure we're getting the most out of our food. So we are what we absorb, not what we eat. So we want to make sure that we've got optimal digestion to absorb all the nutrients that are important for skin. So taking a probiotic is a really nice idea. That's going to really help with even things like having a regular healthy bowel movement every day. And if we don't have a healthy bowel movement every day, that's going to show in our skin. It's going to put more pressure on the liver.
100%.
And definitely the skin conditions we're talking about today, you're really going to want to be looking at things like liver function. And then like even fermented foods.
I was going to say, what about
a probiotic? Kimchi, kefir, kombucha. Or even prebiotic rich foods as well, so like onions, garlics, leeks, artichoke, things like that. They really feed and nourish the bacteria we've already got in the gut. Some people can get a bit bloated from those foods, however, if they haven't got optimal digestion, so definitely start out slow. But then like avoiding certain foods as well, so everyone will have a trigger, but on the whole, alcohol, sugar, trans fats.
Trans fats exactly are...
so your like processed oils are added to packaged foods really, and then just omega-6 oils. So we've got omega-6 in the skin. It's obviously important. It's got lots of benefits, but if we have too much omega-6 in comparison to omega-3, that causes huge levels of inflammation. Omega-6 is found in a lot of healthy vegan plant foods. So I actually find there actually can be a link with acne with actually vegan clients, because they're having so much of that omega-6, which is driving inflammation. So just making sure that you're having enough of the omega-3 to balance out your levels.
I mean, it's quite a minefield for people, really, isn't it? That's why it's quite good to see somebody like yourself.
Yeah, completely.
To have a full-on consultation with guidelines of how much of what quantities you need each day.
Exactly, and also
what you need a week.
Like what we're talking about today is great. Obviously, a nutritional appointment with me, but even you with your facials, it's tailored to that person.
Yeah, that's right.
We have got stuff we're covering today. We know that certain things are good for our skin, but everyone is so unique that the way that they manifest, different conditions, different issues going on in their body will be totally different. So if you had 5 people with acne, one could be leaky gut, one could be a hormone imbalance, one could be too much testosterone causing too much sebum.
That's why it's fab for us having this umbrella with so many experts, because as I've said to people they come in for their skin, but what we actually unveil is there's a whole nother thing going on underneath. So that's where to get the optimum out of any treatment, it's holistic, and that is why we have consultations, so that we can look at your lifestyle, what you are eating, your stress levels, your work levels,
stress is really
everything, hormone levels, and direct, because it's not just as simple as putting a treatment, a product on a skin or having a treatment.
But I think it's
much more scientific.
Completely, but it's also the the feeling of like having a facial is so important, because I think when people are struggling with a skin condition, they're quite embarrassed, and that causes a lot of stress and anxiety. And having a treatment is a really nice way to sort of connect with yourself again and feel better about it and feel like you're sort of progressing and working towards improving your skin as well. And I remember someone saying to me once, when I was suffering really badly with acne, that it was almost like a blessing, because it is showing you that there's some kind of imbalance that you need to look into. So looking back, I know I had really bad hormonal issues, gut issues, really bad. So if you have gut issues and it manifests in a different way, it might be a migraine or an immune condition, but it is your body's way of
saying
getting delved deeper. There's something on. If you had a healthy, balanced body, you wouldn't have acne.
No.
So it's just a symptom, and you need to get to the kind of root cause. But some other things that are really good for the skin. So omega-3. I know we've spoken about that, including in the diet, but why it's good for the skin. It helps with the nourishment and plumping, the moisture content of the skin, but it's really good for like scarring, and just improving the quality of the skin, and also inflammation. And then we've got his zinc and vitamin C as well. So zinc is really repairing, so again for acne scars, and also vitamin C is what stimulates collagen production.
So we both need to be together.
Exactly, so you can either increase vitamin C rich foods, but it might be if you've got a skin condition, you probably want to take a vitamin C a bit higher dose.
And what sort of vitamin C's do you recommend? Is it like time release, or I've seen is it chelated?
Chelated. There's a really nice product, I've forgotten what. Oh, Ultrain C, that has been shown to be really well absorbed, because vitamin C is notoriously poorly absorbed. So that's why actually some people would argue it's better to get it in a diet, because ultimately we want to get everything from the diet, and it is going to be well absorbed. It's just if you can actually get enough. But
so we can put a little link at the bottom to that vitamin C.
And it might even be nice to get some in here. It's so nice hand in hand with the treatments. It's a bit like a prescription, so like we said,
works well
tying
together.
everything together. And I also put here like thyme and lavender oil, quite nice as like a spot treatment. I know you've got your spot treatments as well. But just it's nice for people to have an option, rather than use God knows what the dermatologist or the doctor gives you.
Or what they buy from
I remember
the
all of
local
that.
chemist. Well, having both suffered with acne, that's why I went into beauty.
And me. And I actually was thinking this morning,
because Emma is actually a fully qualified therapist, and that's what she did before she did her nutrition degree. So she's got the benefit of both. That's why it's so nice working with her, because she's also trained in our product range.
And with you likewise.
And
But I was thinking this morning, 100% I would have not got into nutrition if it wasn't for my skin. 100%. And at the time, obviously, it was the worst thing ever. But it's lovely how things work out, because it has literally led me to love nutrition, but also specialise in skin, hormones and gut, because they were my issues. And I wouldn't have any understanding of it. I wouldn't be as passionate about it, and I just wouldn't have ultimately studied it. So it's amazing.
It's so much better, I feel, going to somebody that has actually suffered, and we are the results that you can work and you can sort it out.
And I think also, like, when you have acne, like I've been seeing a client at the moment, she's so conscious of her scarring, and I remember being the same, just being like every day, like looking at my skin, like, oh my god, it's going to scar, I've got more spots. But you can't worry about your scarring until you've got rid of the active acne, and like the more you worry about it, and there's some people's skin does scar and marks are forming, things that are really difficult, but there's so much you can do nowadays.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Like, we're so lucky that we live in a time where there's so many treatments, and they are remarkable. And even just like allowing your skin to heal, like, I remember thinking, oh my god, my skin's gonna scar really badly, but over a period of time, and even now, like, it just lessens and lessens, and there's so many lovely things that you can do to help your skin with healing, forming new skin, making more collagen, things that are going to really help. But we have just wrote down a few treatments that Jane does that do help with scarring, if you're thinking of looking into it, because I think when you read about them, you're like, oh, which one am I going to go for? Is it going to work?
So
I've just wrote down the ones that I like that you do are the chemical peel. The
Which,
derma pen is amazing.
but we mix the chemical peels with the derma pen as well. So we're doing peels as a precursor to the derma pen. Yeah, and to the we've also got PRP there, which is platelet-rich plasma, which we've got a nurse that comes in and does.
Is that the Kim Kardashian?
Yeah, but you're taking blood from yourself. She's spinning it in a centrifuge. It's taking out the plasma, platelet-rich plasma, stem cells, and then injecting it into the skin. Or doing no, but I would do.
Yeah, I'd quite like to try.
I would do.
I'd probably get a picture of me.
But that's amazing for hair loss as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, using the scalp, like mesotherapy. That's amazing. Yeah, needling, red light you've got there, brilliant.
Really
that stimulates the collagen, that's right.
Exactly. And then we said to have a vitamin C.
And then obviously with the vitamin C as well, and or using a vitamin C ampule as well, because I have actually read that it's more beneficial with the skin, like on the face, to actually put it on topically.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a really powerful antioxidant as well, which we know is important for our skin. Yeah. And then the other things we wanted to cover are sleep. So our circadian rhythm is reset when we sleep. So that is responsible for, regulating all of our different functions, and our different organs. But it's also really important for skin. So when we sleep, lots of skin functions happen, lots of really important pathways. So what point am I getting to? I'm getting to that lots of repair happens when we sleep, and actually we were saying that skin is more permeable at night.
Yes.
So that's why we have day and night creams. But actually, if you're not actually getting enough sleep, we're not gonna have that happen. We're not gonna get that deep penetration of the products and the repair that goes on at night.
And the optimum hours of collagen production has been pinpointed to between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.
And that's to get to bed before 10.
And that's why night workers,
that's
they'll
so
never.
True, and you can
always tell
somebody sleeping. You can literally tell instantly that they're
the skin. It tells us so much about somebody.
It really does.
Yeah,
it's like the window.
Yeah, so try and get your Z's in. Less time on a computer before you go to bed.
Completely, but it's so frustrating because when I speak to my clients about sleep, I think they think, it is so important. It's literally up there with exercise and diet. It is.
Well, they always said 1 hour before is worth 2 hours after, and it's kind of like I go to bed stupidly early, as everybody that knows me knows. That's why I look about 5.
Yeah, you do. I need to try it.
But once you get used to going to bed early, you wake up early and your routines change. I didn't want to have to get up so early, but I thought, well, I need to fit my life, what I do in the morning in, and so I have to go to bed early. Now it's natural. I love going to bed.
You look forward to it. You do when you start to get into a routine.
I love it.
And then also melatonin, so that's a really powerful antioxidant, and just linking that in with sleep. So we have melatonin receptors on our skin, and when we sleep, we're making a lot of melatonin, and that is a powerful antioxidant for our skin, but not just for our skin. So that's what makes us feel really refreshed when we wake up in the morning. So when we're not getting enough sleep, obviously we're not making enough melatonin, but on top of this, our current lifestyles make it very difficult for us to actually make melatonin in enough quantity. So for example, lights, blue light from TVs, phones, computer screens, even you draw your curtains and there's still light coming through. This is actually diminishing our melatonin levels, so we're not producing enough, and that's our sleep hormone.
Our sleep hormone.
It makes us lovely, and sleepy. And also when you wake up in the morning, as it's such a powerful antioxidant, it goes and flushes all your cells, and it basically cleans your body and your brain. And that's why people that aren't having enough sleep feel so groggy, because they're not having that kind of process. But so it's important for the skin, for the antioxidants. And also going back to hydration as well, in eczema and dry skin, they usually do have an essential fatty acid deficiency. They're not getting enough fats in the diet. And I think that's, especially for the older generation, that they were taught not to have fats, to watch your weight. But I think my generation are obsessed with putting whole avocados in smoothies and coconut oil and, I mean, obviously you still can go OTT. Having a tablespoon of coconut oil in your smoothie is quite a lot, I think. But having a little bit is great. We need these fats; they're so important. Our brain is 70% fat, let alone your skin.
Wow.
You need it for your brain, and this is especially.
See, people don't realise. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
No, I know. And even like newborn babies, when they're growing, their brain isn't fully formed, so the mum hasn't got enough fat. There is some evidence that it affects their learning ability, their memory.
Wow.
It's really important. People growing up in the era where we were told to avoid fats may have seen some negative consequences because of that, because it's simple. Even like our nerves, so we have the myelin sheath which protects all of our nerves. It helps with the transmission of nerve fibres, and that needs fat. That's made up of fat. It's just so important. And also fat is very fat and protein are the main things, along with fruits and vegetables, of what we need to sustain us. And then if we're going to exercise, we need more carbohydrates. That's the body's preferred fuel. We're going to exercise, but if you're going to be quite, you're not going to be very active that day, it really is fats and proteins and the vegetables that we really want in our diet. They're really good to fats for balancing our blood sugar, for example. We know blood sugar is really important for hormonal balance, and hormonal imbalance and balance is very important for our skin. So it all kind of really
exactly links about in. Being in balance, isn't it? As much as we
every time
can be, and as naturally as possible.
And even with all this stuff, like when I work with clients, I put them a treatment plan together. Obviously, if they've got quite an active condition that we're really trying to get on top of, it is important they stick to it quite religiously. But then after that, we have to enjoy our lives. And if you've got a condition, you're so worried about it that you're obsessing over eating the right foods or doing the right stuff, having the right treatments, like that isn't good for you either. We're never going to be able to be 100% perfect. But I think it's about having the information and being informed, so that you can then make the decision to be more proactive with your health and your well-being. Because I think, imagine if you have acne and you literally don't know, I remember crying to my mum, but she didn't know what to do. She would just take me to a dermatologist.
I know.
If I actually had the information, despite still having acne, I think I'd be really happy that I actually knew sort of where to go with it, rather than just okay, what am I going to do?
I think that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
that's
education.
Why there are people like us that people can come to. We do know what we're talking about. We've experienced it, and there is, it's about managing it. It's about managing acne, isn't it? You might have to go through it for whatever reason while your hormones are balancing, but it's about managing it. If you've got red pustular,
so
acne breakout, the last thing you want to be putting on it is things that make it even more red and sore and
it's not just
stripped,
what's making it better, it's what's not going to make it even worse.
Soothing it, calming it. That's why we have lavender in our products.
Completely. And I think as well, the body does have an amazing ability to heal. So as much as it might take a period of time, it's not an overnight fix.
No.
I actually see that it works quite quickly when the body's given the right tools. If you've got loads of nutritional deficiencies and you correct those, the skin's got the nutrients it needs to heal. The hormones have got the nutrients they need to function optimally. So I think it seems like a huge long journey ahead, but actually I think the results can be seen quite quickly if you're on the right path.
Definitely
and doing
improvement.
The right thing.
An improvement would be immediate.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Without a doubt.
I think even after, also with acne, it's even just your skin looking a lot clearer and healthier. I think sometimes people have acne but it still looks quite clear. Some people have acne, you can see, unfortunately, it's really congested. They've got blackheads as well. Lots of sebum on the skin. You can create, and if they've got too much sebum, that's having a
overactive.
Where it's having a sort of vicious cycle effect, because you do need sebum, but then if you have too much, it's blocking the pores, causing more acne, and then the bacteria on the skin is a breeding ground for more bacteria. So it's difficult, but this is why it's so much easier to just go to someone that knows what they're talking about, like you and I, because you can just go straight ahead and be like, right, okay, this is what I think is going on. We're gonna try this. Let's see how we get on. Try this treatment as well. Facial treatments, natural sort of treatments as well. And ultimately giving someone back the control, because when something's going wrong, you don't feel like you have much control over the situation. But so I think we covered a lot in there. I think a lot of things that you can take away with you, but you can also get in touch.
Get in touch with both of us. We'll put the links for Emma on the
and just get in touch if you have any questions, or you've got someone that you think could do with some help with this. You might see it and think someone you know suffering with a skin condition could benefit.
Emma's going to be here on the 25th of March. We're doing an open day, and it's 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Emma will be here. So anybody that wants to come along and have a chat with her, there is something that can be done to help improve and help you feel better. If you have got a problem,
life's about feeling good.
Life's about feeling good. You feel good, you look good, you you feel good. It's 100%. A win-win. And with so much mental health, problems around at the moment, a lot of depression, anxiety, that of course has a knock-on effect, because if you're feeling anxious, it's going to show in your skin. Then your skin's showing, then you feel more anxious.
And that stress worsens the skin condition, because it creates more inflammation, more hormonal changes. So it is very difficult, and that's why I think getting the control back to lower the stress. And
having some really treatments helps. That, massage, or there's so many treatments that we do that address stress.
Completely. It's all about well-being.
It's well-being. The skin is... We call it mind, body, skin, because it's encompassing all of it.
You can't just work with one thing in isolation. It's literally everything.
It's like growing a flower, isn't it? It needs
the right conditions,
oxygen, light, water, and
I always think as well. We've got a camellia tree in our garden. Sorry, ours is really blooming, but I had a friend say that hers hadn't even come out yet, and I kind of thought, well, it's the same plant. But it must
soil.
Be exactly. The conditions, the position it's in.
Feed the soil that grows the plant.
Exactly,
that's right.
And that's a complete, we've all got skin, but
treat the skin
it depends
as a flower.
How you treat it, because I think some people obviously have great genes, or the skin isn't there the way that they've manifested some kind of gut issue or something, but ultimately, it is something, even if you haven't got acne or you haven't got psoriasis, you just want to improve the appearance of your skin. That isn't going to happen having a poor diet full of sugar, not drinking enough water, not exercising enough. So I think as much as there's lots you can do, you can actively go out of your way to get better skin. I think ultimately
it's a commitment from you.
It is completely.
It's a commitment from the client, from you.
It's about like exercise.
From us,
if you want a better body, you can't just not do anything.
No.
There's you
can't go to the gym once a week and expect to get the body of
exactly. And it's and then I
goddess.
think after that, it's actually great, because then it's not just for your skin anymore. You start to look at labels of your food. You start to think a bit more about what you're putting in your body, and that's exactly the same for me. So I remember reading an article that said sugar gave you acne, and overnight I just cut out sugar. And then it just led, eventually obviously to me doing nutrition, and now it's just for everything. It started with looking after my skin, but now it's just generally my sort of well-being.
Cool.
Okay. Yes.
We hope you found that really useful. We've loved it. As I said, we're doing these monthly, and we will be asking you any questions that you would like us to talk about to do with nutrition and skin. We could do a question and answer sometime. We're just sort of feeling our way with our videos and our lives. And all feedback is welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.